Hello, everybody. It's great to be here one more time today. My name is Gary Fowler. I'm the CEO, president, founder of GSD, Get Shit Done Venture Studios, a premier AI and quantum venture studio located in the heart of Silicon Valley. I'm a 17-time serial entrepreneur with several unicorns under the belt. I was on the original management team at Click Software, which was sold to Salesforce for $1.35 billion, and also Eva.ai, an AI HR tech company that co-founded with Dr. David Yang. We believe at GSD that intellectual capacity is evenly spread around the world, but opportunities are not. With that, today on Top Global Startups, I have an incredible guest. Kürşad Arman is a serial entrepreneur and the co-founder and CEO of VenueX. He's got over 18 years of experience in ad tech and retail tech, helping global brands maximize ad performance and revenue through omni-channel strategies. From leading sales at VCount to holding KNS and now scaling VenueX, partnered with giants like Google, Meta, TikTok, and Apple. He's been at the forefront of bridging the gap between online and offline retail. Today, we're going to dive into the future of retail, the power of offline conversion data, and how startups can thrive in an ever-evolving digital landscape using superpowers of artificial intelligence. With that, I'd like to bring him on board. Kürşad, how are you doing today?
It's good, sir. How are you?
Good. So, you spent over 2 decades in ad tech and retail tech. What drew you into this space? When maybe say, hey, listen, this is a place I'm going to go?
Yeah, let me start from the university days. When I was in university, it was a technical university. I'm an engineer by training. I started as a sales and business development guy while I was still a university student in an image processing company. That company was helping brands to understand how many people are getting into their stores. For each stores, if you have, let's say, 100 stores all over the Turkey, you need to know how many people are getting into my stores. That's called the foot traffic, right? So I was the head of sales and business development and helping businesses like the retailers and the shopping centers understand how many people are getting footstep into their stores. But there was something missing. We didn't know if they are coming from an online engagement or are they buying or something. We were just able to provide them the footfall traffic. And then I started another company back in 2011. That company is called KNS. The KNS is helping shopping centers mainly for digital wayfinding, indoor mapping, CRM applications to collect data, to drive online shoppers to the physical shopping malls. And then a couple of years ago, I contacted with Google, Apple to understand if we can provide them the indoor maps of the shopping centers. And we started to be a part of Apple Maps and Google Maps partner. Like what we did, we provided the real-time in-store indoor maps and the point of interest data of the shopping centers directly into Google Maps and Apple Maps, so that whenever you are taking a direction to a nearby mall, let's say Westfield, San Francisco, I'm not sure if it's still there or not, but back in the days, it was there. You can use the same Google Maps and Apple Maps within the shopping center to find your way, where the store is located. You can get the direction. But when pandemic started, Google team asked me to provide them more data. Like they asked me to visit their office. When I visited their office, they said, instead of not just provide us the indoor maps, but we want you to provide us which stores are located, what are their brands, what are their categories, what is the point of interest data available for that store, and interestingly, what products are available in that store at that time, so that when you search for a specific item, let's say iPhone 16 or 17 is now released, when you search on Google, now you can see if that product is available in a nearby store. And then after asking me to provide them the real-time in-store product availability, Google team asked me to send them also the in-store transactions, who purchased what from which stores. And then I realized, okay, this is something big, right? So the Google's mission back in the day was to help businesses understand how much their Google Ads investment is bringing to their physical stores on top of their online sales. Like, let's say you are Nike, you are spending $1 million each month to Google Ads. You know you are getting $3 million worth of online sales out of this advertising, but you don't know how many people are going to your stores, visiting your stores after clicking an ad and purchasing the item. Then I realized, okay, this is something big. So we pivoted VenueX. We started VenueX as a spin-off from my KNS company and established a new company and fundraised from the established VCs, And the mission of the VenueX is to be a backbone between retail data and ad platforms, from Google to Meta, Apple, TikTok.
And how much did you raise, Kürşad? What was the raise?
More than 1.2 million. I'm not able to give the exact number, but it's about 1.5 million. Just that was this is just a pre-seed investment.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, so raised a lot. I've done 17 startups in Silicon Valley and a couple of unicorns. And, you know, for my last company, in 3 months, I raised $7 million without even a product. And it just, the scale's different, you know, and it's interesting to me. We can talk, that's another show, but it's very interesting to me. So looking back, what lessons did you learn from your early days at VCount that helped you help shape your entrepreneurial journey?
So I wasn't the co-founder of VeCount. I was the first employee of that company, and two co-founders are my university friends. They were the technical guys, but I was responsible for the sales and business development. I had no idea about the sales and business development, but I was grown in the kitchen. We say it like this in Turkey, like, I wasn't educated to be a business development guy or a sales guy, but as a technical engineer guy, I was pushed to be a sales guy or a business development guy. Then what I learned from the VeCount, it was a really big opportunity for me, and I always appreciate my friends to give me that chance, is like this. The technical stuff you do doesn't make any sense. You have to find a problem that people are facing, and that problem has to be monetized and scalable. And in the VeCount, what I realized, if you have a good product that solves a problem, and if the product is scalable, then rest is history. So what I learned from that company was to creating a killing product which is scalable, which means you can deploy the same solution or the same hardware, whatever it is, to be to the thousands of locations without customizing it. And that's what I learned from that company and scaling the sales and business development.
Now, that's interesting. So, you know, you've worked with partners like Google and Meta. How important are they for scaling companies, and how are they going to help you with VenueX?
So what we do in VenueX is providing those tech giants real-time, real-world data. Like, where is those? Let's say one of our clients, it's Boyner. It's like Macy's for Turkey. It's a department store. They have more than 130 stores. Google has to know, or Apple has to know, or Meta or TikTok has to know where the stores are actually located, their addresses, phone numbers, latitudes, longitudes, everything about the point of interest data. On top of it, somebody has to be providing what products are available in which store. That's a real world problem. That data is there, but it's offline. What we achieved is making that data available for online resources, like we mentioned, like Google, Meta, TikTok, and Apple, whatever. And what I learned from those companies, do not compete with them. Instead, be a partner to them, provide them what they can achieve by themselves. They need partners to collect this data. format the data, like make it compatible with their platform, and provide them the data so that they can provide more sales, advertising solutions. Maybe they have, for example, for Meta, Google, and TikTok, they recently introduced their omnichannel advertising models. But for a brand to utilize these models or activate these models, real world data has to be provided into those platforms. Like, we became like a data enabler between retailers and the digital channels. Like, what I learned is, instead of stepping on their feet, just be a enabler for them. Enable them to do more. Enable them to collect more granular, more accurate data, so that their newly introduced AI solutions, optimization tools works better.
Can you share a client success story like Madame Coco that really shows the impact of VenueX's solutions?
Yeah, I want to give you a couple of examples. Madame Coco is like a home improvement company. They have about 800 stores all around the region, including Turkey, Europe, Middle East, and everything, right? When we started,
that's quite a name. I thought it was like a lingerie shop. I got to be honest with you, because Madame Coco does not sound like it's a home improvement shop. It doesn't.
It's not like Home Depot, but it's like, for if you are decorating your home, they are not selling furnitures, but they are pillows,
drills, and screwdrivers and stuff.
No, it's not. But more like the pillows, the things in your background, right? Like in your background, they sell those stuff. It's a really iconic brand for Turkey. When we started, they only had 400 stores. It's still big, but they said within a couple of months we will increase the number of stores to 800. Right? We will double it. And they said, we want to double the number of the stores, and we will open new stores all around the region, including the MENA, Turkey, Europe, even Belgium and Morocco. And they said, we want to make sure those locations are visible to online shoppers. Because if you are living in Belgium, if you are a Belgian citizen, you have no idea about the Madame Coco brand, and it's you don't have any awareness of it, right? They asked us to make those stores available online for the online shoppers, so that when they search for a specific item or a category or any need, they can see that this actually that store is available in a nearby store, maybe newly opened, right? What we did, we listed all their locations in Google Maps, Meta, Apple, and everything, so that their click-to direction, the number of directions increased about 45%, if I remember correctly. And phone calls increased 7 times higher. And another company is Koçtaş. It's a home improvement company. It's like Lowe's, right?
Yeah, Lowe's, yeah.
Yeah. Or Home Depot. Screwdrivers to furniture, they have everything. And they had about, 370 stores all around the Turkey. When we did the same stuff, like listing their locations, integrating their in-store product availability, and help them understand online to offline engagement, like how many people clicked the ad, visited the store, and purchased the item. When we enabled this data, they realized that actually their ad spend is bringing to their physical stores 4.6 times higher than online, which means if they are spending 1 million in the Google ads, and if they are seeing only 10x ROAS, like 10 million revenue from online, actually 46 million is generated in physical stores. And they go back and optimize their ad spend. They increase their ad spend and allocated their marketing budget more smartly. And another number from that company is they increased their click-to-store visits, like how many people clicked and visited the stores, by 112%, like doubled it. Like they literally doubled it.
Great.
Like,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, another number from that company is the PMax campaigns like on Google. They surpassed that campaign targets by 15% after enabling that data into Meta, Google, and other platforms. Because now people who are seeing the ads are more willing to go to a physical store, can see more accurate data about the store. If the product is available, they can see, and this encouraged users to click an ad and go to the store, and we saw those numbers.
Why do you believe offline conversations is such an untapped opportunity for advertisers and retailers?
Because most of the retailers are managed as silos. Like the digital team has no idea about the physical stores, and physical store managers doesn't have any idea about the digital, right? For example, before this meeting, I was having a call with a Turkish giant. They have more than 1,000 stores. Digital manager said, we are investing a lot of money into Google advertising, but we don't know how many people are going to those stores after clicking our ads. Like we only see the online engagement. When they started to realize this offline impact, they go back and ask for more money from the physical teams, like digital teams. Like they go to the store managers and ask to do more, give them some marketing budgets. The problem was because the departments like digital teams, marketing teams, and the store operational teams are siloed. In some events, in some cases, those people doesn't know each other, right? But actually they are all working for the same P&L. What we teach them, what we are trying to make them understand is, guys, actually your advertising spend on digital has an impact on physical stores. What you do in the physical stores also drives an online traffic. It's like 1 + 1. I was saying 1 +, if you merge those online and offline channels, I was saying like 1 + 1 = 3, but I started saying 1 + 1 = 11 actually, because maybe Gary Fowler is searching for an item, let's say a furniture. If you are going to buy a furniture, you are not going to buy it online. You have to, you check the item online, you get an awareness, you make sure that might have a good fit in your home, right? And then you go to a nearby store selling the item, and then you go buy it, right? And in some cases, people visit the stores, checks the item, maybe their credit time is not good, or their cash is not enough. They go back home, maybe 7 days later, they buy it online because they already engaged with the item in physical, and then they are more likely to buy it online. Or they engage with the item online and they go to a nearby store and buy the item in physical stores. Like if you merge this, it's like 1 + 1 = 11.
So how do you see the balance shifting? By the way, my multi-agent large language model is listening and coming up with questions. I have one that we started 2.5 years ago, and it's 14 LLMs working as a team, and it's actually analyzing your conversation right now, and it's asking, and it's coming up with these questions, which it's like my assistant on steroids. So it says to me, how do you see the balance shifting between online shopping and physical store experiences over the next 5 years?
The online is always increasing. Like if you look at it from a 100% perspective, on average, let me give you a number from the Turkey. 68% of the shopping still happens in physical stores, and the online is 14%. Before the pandemic, it was like 7 online, 93% offline. Of course, the ratio of online is increasing, but that doesn't say that online is cannibalizing the offline. It's not that how it works. Actually, that 100% pie is becoming 110, 120, right? You know what I'm saying? You don't have to think like online versus offline. You have to think it like online plus offline. If you think it that way, And if you combine the strategies, online and offline strategies, on top of the P&L, then you increase the pie. Like your 100%, let's say 100 million overall revenue next year becomes 130 million.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't mean at the end of the day, all money goes to Walmart, all money goes to the Nike, right? It doesn't say anything for the CEO, whether it's coming from offline and online. Money is money. But what I'm trying to say, if you don't have to see them as a competition, you have to think them like a complementary channels, forging into one and becoming bigger.
What unique challenges have you faced scaling from Turkey to global markets, and how do you overcome them?
Obviously, since I'm a Turkish guy, I have a great network here in Turkey. Early days of the company, when it was just a MVP or a POC product, I was lucky to have some meetings with the brands and deploy the unmature product to them. That was easy. But I wasn't able to do the same to an Italian brand or a Saudi brand or an German brand. So in order to scale for the overseas, you have to make sure that the platform is running almost perfectly. People are calling it MVP, like minimum viable product. To go to our overseas operations, you have to have a minimum awesome product, if you know what I'm saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
The product has to be ready. It has to be self-served so that your overseas clients can play around, right? You have to have a great dashboard, the reporting, the alerts, and everything. So you have to make sure the product is ready, because sometimes people are thinking about the sales and GTM, like the go-to-market strategy first, and they go to market first. But if your product is not ready, and you are screwed. Make sure your product is ready for the operations.
So how do you see MENA and European retail ecosystem differing in terms of digital adoption?
I don't know if you know about Europe, but the digital adaptation in Europe is way behind the Turkey and way behind the MENA region. Those Saudi companies, that UAE companies are way much ahead of the European competitors. Yeah, that's because that's a philosophical discussion, maybe another topic, but the Europe is super regulated. In order to do anything,
it's a problem, and that regulation can kill you, right? And it's I've been involved in startups in Silicon Valley 40 years and 29 years with AI, and when you start having you start regulating things like artificial intelligence before it's even started. It's crazy. It's like, we got, Kürşad, we got a lot of challenges on this planet, right? We've got a lot of things that need to be addressed. The average temperatures around the planet going up. By the end of this century, sea levels could be up 75 feet. We've got, by 2050, we have to double the food supply to feed everybody and can't increase the number of cattle because 26% of pollution is methane gas. We've got 8.1 billion people, estimated 13 billion by the end of this century. We got the largest population under 30 in Africa. And I'll be in Africa. I'll be in Nigeria in the next few weeks. But you look at it, and there's such a great opportunity. And the problem is going back, and the problem that you're solving is infobesity. There's a lot of data out there, and how do we make sense of the data using tools to be able to help us? Mm-hmm. And, I built omni-channel engines, personally. So we built omni-channel AI engines because those engines are going to help us decipher it. I mean, think about it. In your own personal world, you got 300,000 items in your personal cloud, Kürşad. The entire web in 1996 was 257,000 websites. You have more information in personal cloud than the entire web. The problem is Kürşad's world is following the same trajectory as the World Wide Web. By that, I mean doubling every year. In 5 years with the IoT, you're going to have 10 million items. Think about this. How many times the last 2 weeks somebody said, Kürşad, I sent you a message. Did you get it? Where did you send it? I sent it to your email. Which one? Your corporate, your Yahoo, your Google. Let me check. I can't find it. Send again. In fact, now you don't even check, right? because you know there's too many.
Yeah.
If it's 10 minutes later, it's insane. I talked to the head of the quantum lab at Harvard, Pranea. We had this exact conversation. I talked to the lead author of the Nobel Prize, same conversation. We need to take care of data. The answers are out there. The thing is, how do we do that? And kind of like my grandmother, right? So in a kind way, to be able to unconditionally love you, empathetically and compassionately to find things. And that's in retail too. I built a retail group, right? So I was involved in retail technologies personally. I started one of the first e-commerce consulting companies back in the 90s when they said Amazon was just for books. So the problem is it's not there. It's how can we use it to be able to help us make our lives better, right? And what you're doing is making it better, because people don't like going into a shopping center and not finding things. They want to know where stuff is. They don't have time.
Yeah, just to give you a number from Google Trends, 65% of the people who are willing to buy an item from physical stores would like to know if the product is available in that store before visiting.
Yeah, exactly. Because you don't want to, because we've been spoiled with online. Because we're spoiled because it talks about inventory levels when you go to buy something.
Yeah, just to give you, I want to give you a couple of numbers. 90% of shoppers who visited a store within a week engaged online first. They search for an item, maybe they check your location, they maybe get that direction, or visited your website, then visited your physical stores. And people who want to visit your stores, 65% of them would like to know if the product is available before visiting. And
I just went through it last week. I did that. I'll tell you a situation. So I've been looking at this very hot SUV, and I found one in Porsche Guards Red, right? That Guards Red color. Not everybody likes it. I happen to have a few Porsches in my life, and I just happen to like it. So I looked online, I did all my research, and I happened to be, I saw the car, I just, did all my research on it, wanted to make sure I got the turbo version. Anyhow, I'm driving down the street. What happens? That exact car was sitting in front of a dealership. I go into the dealership. They said, listen, this car's got 373 miles on it. Some lady got it, but she wanted gray instead, that kind of chalky gray color instead of this car. And it was the exact one. It was a sport version of the car. I went into the thing. I had done all my research in advance, but that trigger, when I saw it there, it triggered everything because I had a blended experience. I knew what I wanted, and now I found the car. And so, and when I did my research online, it said that car was there, but it wasn't until I physically saw it that I developed that connection.
Did you buy it?
Of course I did. It's sitting in my garage right now.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So that's the thing. It's like, but it's about the data. We don't have time anymore. There's so many things. It's like, another thing is Turkey's renowned for medical, right? So plastic surgery and those kind of things. But a lot of people don't know it exists. Dental work, a dental implant can cost you $3,000, $4,000 in the US. It costs you $1,200 in Turkey. Yeah, but people don't know where to go. You know what I mean? And having tools like yours to be able to show them where to go in Istanbul, down what street, what's the health grade ratings of this dentist, what are the experience they have? Think about it. It's everything. Your car, the same kind of situation. You'd go in and service your car. I don't like to go to the Porsche dealer to get a car service when I can have somebody that used to work at Porsche that costs half as much and twice as good. What? So if you could find that, and I have a person like that I've worked with. Finding the person is important. That's another thing. Exactly what the tools that you have to be able to expand it. And guess what? There's 1.3 billion people in Africa, largest population of under 30 in the world, that are now moving up fast, right? They're looking. They don't have the infrastructural challenges that other people have because it's all new.
That's true. And people called it the omni-channel, the phygital, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, it's the consumer, it's the user is searching for some stuff
because they need superpowers that you give them. You're giving them superpowers. You understand? People don't. I just did a presentation in Silicon Valley in front of some of the brightest people on the planet, and the talk was having superpowers. right?
Yeah.
These tools like yours give people the power to be able to find things that they wouldn't be able to find.
Yeah, yeah. So my mission is to make the physical world data, like the locations, the services, the products, online to offline conversions, available online. Right. This is a big challenge because in global, 80% of the business is still retail sales is still happens in physical stores. So the new era is coming. Like, think of it. Google became a $1 trillion company, or Meta became a $1 trillion company by just selling online advertising to those businesses, right? But now they realized actually 80% of the business is still happens in physical stores and physical spaces. If we make those places available online, engageable, like the drive online shoppers to offline, they measure it, then they can. This is even a blue ocean, even for Google, even for Meta, even for everybody. It's like when I first visited Apple office, they asked me, "What do you see in the future?" Like they didn't ask me, "What do I do?"
Yeah,
How.
they want to see if their vision's aligned with what your
Yeah,
vision's aligned with their vision. And the vision is you're going to have one. So taking it out 10 years, right? You're going to have one tool that's going to help you find everything. Kind of
yeah.
like we're doing with Google.
The metaphor, the example I gave, it was like this. Like they asked me, what is your vision about the future of shopping, future of retail, whatever it is? And I replied literally like this. In the next decade, I will ask Siri, where can I find that Nike shoes? And it will give me a reply saying that this shoe is available in a nearby corner store, and give me the direction in my Apple Maps, and I will go to the store with using my Apple Maps. The search started on Siri or Apple Watch. Then I continued my journey on the Apple Maps. When I visited the store, I will buy the item from I already do it, but even Apple is trying to merge the online and offline because they have the maps, the watch, the Siri, the Apple phone, the Apple Pay, everything, right? So the future is going to be a blended opportunity, and not just
I'm
one
thinking
channel.
here. I think there's something different, Kürşad. I
Yeah,
think it's going to be different. And I've been working on some of these things for 29 years, right? But I
let me
think
know.
it's going to be it's going to be kind of like your grandmother, and I'm building that stuff now with empathy and compassion. It will go down through, and it's personally attached to you, Kürşad. It's yours. You know what I mean? And it understands everything about you. It knows what you want before you need it. It knows that you like these vitamins. It knows that you like this car. It knows that you like these clothes. And it's always out there continuously sensing, looking for those kind of things that could help you to make your life better.
Yeah,
Right?
that's the next step. When those tech giants starts collecting this accurate data, next thing they will suggest you some stuff. Hey Gary, we know what you purchased in last 1 month. You might be, those items might be finishing up. You might need them again. Here are the collections. You can buy it from the Walmart nearby, or from the Targets or the Apple Store nearby, right? So when that data, the offline data, became available online, we call it the enable stage. And then next thing we do, enrich the data quality, which means what are the missing points about the data? Like maybe some stores are missing their photos or the opening hours, or some products are missing their descriptions or the categories, or the online and offline match rate is low because you are not providing information enough, right? Enable, enrich, and the next step is going to be the enhancing, which is driving passive users to your physical stores without them even starting searching from intent search. You will push them, hey Kürşad, these products are available in a nearby store. Maybe Apple is going to do it, or the Meta or Google is going to do it. They will push you some notifications. Hey, Gary, hey, Kürşad, these products are available in a nearby store. I know you purchased them last month. You might need them again. Want to visit? Want to try it? That's the next step.
Yeah, we actually built some of that stuff, Kürşad. I actually have some of that stuff built. Just FYI, I actually, we've spent a
Then
few
we
million,
can partner up. Then we
we've
can
spent
partner
a
up
few
together.
$1 million with one of my companies. Anyhow, listen, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today. Closing thoughts, Kürşad, and then how do people get a hold of you? If you want, for a few minutes after we're done, we can speak.
Yeah. For the entrepreneurs, my suggestion is not to start with a product, start with a problem. Find the problem, find if your prospects are willing to pay it, and understand how much people might be willing to pay for it. Then build your product, because some technical co-founders, some technical funders start building a product, then go to market, and then they fail because they understand that they realize that actually that product doesn't fit to any problem, because people are starting from the solution or the product, but actually you have to know if the problem is there, if the problem is big enough, if the problem is solvable, like if your solution is scalable enough. So my humble suggestion for the entrepreneurs will be, make sure start with a problem and interview as much as people you can. Do not interview your mother or your friends or grandmother. Go find the real people from the market, from the industry, and ask them if they have this problem or what problems they have, and then start building your solution or the product.
Yeah. And if they get a chance, there's a book called The Startup Owner's Manual by Bob Dorff and Steve Blank. It talks about customer development. In fact, Bob was a very good friend of mine.
Steve Blank, that was one of the first books that I purchased from Amazon. It was Four Steps of Epiphany.
Epiphany, 4 Steps to Epiphany. I know Steve. I've been to his house a number of times, and Bob was actually the dean of my school when I lived in Russia. I lived in Moscow. He actually, I've known him for 30 years. So interesting guys. But you're right. Customer development's important because you can build something people don't want. You want to make sure you're in tune with the market. Thanks for taking your time out of your busy schedule to join us today. And thanks to all my audience for joining one more time. GSD presents Top Global Startups. My name is Gary Fowler, and I'm your host. Stay happy, stay safe, and stay healthy. We'll be back to you again soon with another exciting edition. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Bye.